Joining us now in the studio is Larry Robinson. He's a former political counselor at the U.S. Embassy in Islamabad. Just to kind of riff off what he just said, they were just kids, just innocent kids. What's your take on all of this?
I see it as an insurgency that's on the back foot, that's under pressure from the operations that the Pakistan military has been conducting in Waziristan. And I've worked on at least a dozen insurgencies over the course of my career. An insurgency that's on a roll, an insurgency that's self-confident, goes after harder and harder and harder targets. An insurgency that is trying to get back in the game, trying to change the game, goes after soft targets. So I see this as the Pakistan Taliban lashing out, trying to regain the momentum it has lost by going after a really spectacular soft target.
Regain the momentum, the words you use there. This brings to mind what happened 10 years ago in Beslan, where all these school children were slaughtered there in Russia. And it seemed to me that the public sentiment, those who were supporting Chechen separatist movements, really shifted like on a dime. And one would think public opinion within Pakistan would change dramatically because of this. Will it?
I think it will, but it may not last. There's a default setting in the Pakistani psyche that is in really deep denial about the various Islamist insurgencies. I bet if you went in the streets of Karachi today and asked 100 people what they thought about the attack, at least 20 of them would insist that it couldn't have been the Taliban because Muslims don't kill Muslims, and that must have been either India, Israel, or the United States responsible. That's the default setting. It's reinforced in a lot of mosques every Friday at Friday prayers. So I think this is having an impact. It has certainly shocked a huge number of people. And I've seen similar inflection points in other insurgencies. You mentioned Beslan. I remember watching, was working on the IRA when the true British soldiers were torn out of their car at an IRA funeral and beaten to death almost in view of a live audience. That was a major inflection point. But it always takes more than one. And whether this one will be the tipping point in this case, I'm not sure.
And so this could be a watershed moment, and then again, it may not. If you're the Sharif government, how do you respond? I mean, what can you do? Is it fighting public perception, or fighting the Taliban, or fighting both?
It's both, really. And the public perception, that default setting mentality, has been a problem for successive Pakistani governments ever since 9/11. These are people who were brought up believing that the Taliban were absolutely the good guys. That's all they got out of their media from about 1994 to 2001. That the Kashmir-based or Kashmir-focused militants like Lashkar-e-Taiba were absolute good guys, embracing martyrdom on behalf of beleaguered Muslims. It's hard to change that kind of mentality. It takes a long time. It takes a number of watershed moments.
You say that they're on their back foot. What are we to read into that? I mean, if they're willing to go after soft targets like this, I mean, how far are they willing to go?
That's a calculation for them. Every terrorist organization I've worked on, every insurgent group I've worked on, they have their own set of morality. It may not be morality like we would define it, but they have standards. They have things they won't do that they feel cross a line. And typically, when an insurgency is losing support, they relax those rules. But each time they do, they know they're going to lose a lot of support as they do it. So it's not something you do if you think you're gaining ground.
Larry Robinson, thanks so much for giving us your analysis this evening. Appreciate it.
Thank you.